working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
Today, hundreds of firefighters will pay their respects to one of their fallen. How they'll remember the firefighter who died in the Porterville library blaze, and plans for a public memorial later this week.
Thousands prepare to honor and remember basketball great Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi in a celebration of life that will help generations of basketball hopefuls to come.
Plus, breakfast for a cause when you can get a short stack this week for free while also helping a local children's hospital. Good morning. Good to have you with us on this Monday, February 24th, 2020. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Vanessa Dillon. A beautiful weekend. Some rain, actually.
A little bit of rain, right? And
so nice.
Now we're looking for some sun, right, Kevin? It's looking pretty nice for the remainder of this week.
Yeah, we are looking at a pretty good week ahead. Yesterday was just beautiful. Saturday, we did pick up a little bit of rain, but it was beautiful in the early morning hours. I know I was out and about. We only picked up 1/100 of an inch of rain, but at least we didn't end the month with nothing in the gauge. But yesterday, look at that, 68 degrees. Normally, we're right around 65 this time of year. 81, the record set back in 1981. We have a few high clouds right now around the area, but that is about it. By the afternoon, we'll be looking at sunny skies. 51 degrees for Bakersfield at this time with a light wind out of the south at 3. We will start out in the 50s, rising to 63 at noon, and by 3 o'clock, 67 this afternoon. Tehachapi, you're at 41 degrees right now, a light westerly wind at 8. And as we take a look at the day here, starting out in the 40s, and then this afternoon, we're looking at the upper 50s by 3 o'clock, that northwest wind at 13. There is another chance of rain in the forecast, but will it be here by the end of the month? We'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes.
Almost a month after he was killed in a helicopter crash along with his daughter and 7 others, a public memorial service is being held for Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi.
Good morning, Maddie and Vanessa. It's being called a celebration of life, and it's giving fans here in the Golden Empire and all over the world a chance to say goodbye to an NBA legend. This is Mauricio's El Eftibo. It's a local Mexican restaurant. And as you can tell, they actually painted a mural about a month ago, and that was right after the passing of Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others in that horrific plane crash in Calabasas that sent shockwaves around the world. 3 people that were all underage at that moment, 13-year-olds. And in the days that followed, you really couldn't walk anywhere in and around the Staples Center in Los Angeles without stepping on flowers, pictures, things of that nature. And now comes the celebration of life ceremony at Staples Center in Los Angeles, where Bryant, of course, played with the Lakers. Thousands are expected to gather in person, with more watching on NBA TV and live stream, and with many showing their support and only a limited number of tickets that went out. Authorities are asking that people don't show up unless they have a ticket, partially because they want to keep those areas around there clear. Hundreds of thousands, Maddie and Vanessa, hundreds and thousands wanted to show up to this event, but only a limited number of tickets. And the ceremony will not be broadcast on any of the outdoor screens. And one of the most amazing things about this event, and I was reading about this, is obviously it's being held today, which is February 24th. Kobe Bryant's number in the latter part of his career was 24. His daughter Gianna's number, who, as we know, was a basketball star in her own right, number 2. But the 20, meaning 2020, the 20 years of marriage that he shared with his wife, Vanessa, 2/24/20, the date that his celebration of life and the celebration of life for these 9 people is being held at the Staples Center later today, 10 a.m. in Los Angeles.
All right, Taylor, thanks so much. Happening today, a memorial service will be held for one of the men who died fighting a fire at the Porterville Public Library last week. The family of Captain Ray Figueroa released a statement over the weekend thanking the communities of Porterville and Kern County for their overwhelming support. Figueroa and firefighter Patrick Jones died while trying to search for possible survivors who may have been trapped inside the library. His family said Figueroa died doing what he loved, and he will always be their hero. Starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon, there will be a visitation at St. Mary's of the Miraculous Medal Parish in Delano. It'll be followed by a rosary ceremony at 6, then a funeral mass and burial will be held tomorrow morning at 10. Funeral services for Patrick Jones are still being planned, but there will be a memorial service for both Jones and Captain Figueroa this Friday at the Church of the Nazarene in Porterville. Local agencies are expected to participate in an honor guard for the two firefighters. The two 13-year-olds who were arrested accused of starting that fire now face murder charges with special circumstances. That's according to the Tulare County District Attorney's Office. The teens are also facing arson charges. Their names have not been released because of their ages. They're expected in court March 11th.
Illegal guns were off the streets this morning after police say they caught 3 people opening fire. It happened yesterday. BPD were in the area near Comanche Drive and Highway 178 when officers say they heard gunshots. They found 3 people firing guns in a nearby field. Officers recovered 11 guns. 5 of them were illegally manufactured. One of the guns was reported stolen. Officers arrested Austin Pulido on firearm and gang-related charges.
Stallion Springs police arrest 3 suspects accused in a home invasion robbery, and it's all thanks to a doorbell. This happened early Sunday morning. Police say someone rang the front doorbell of a home on Horse Thief Drive and then ran away. Police found 4 suspects in a car a short time later. They say evidence connected the car to a home invasion robbery that happened last Tuesday in the same area. Officers recovered guns and stolen property from the car, as well as ski masks and plastic gloves. Police arrested 23-year-old Romelio Pride and 2 teens for that home invasion. 32-year-old Malcolm Adams was also arrested for possession of stolen property.
California Highway Patrol is searching for the driver who hit and killed a man and then took off. It happened in East Bakersfield over the weekend. Kern County Sheriff's deputies say 34-year-old Marco Antonio Garcia was hit by a car just after midnight Sunday on Edison Highway east of the Mount Vernon overpass. Garcia died at the scene. So far, deputies have not released a suspect or vehicle description. If you have any information, call CHP at 396-6600.
Well, this week you can chow down on a short stack of pancakes to help out a local children's hospital. IHOP will be raising money for Children's Miracle Network, including the Lawrence Small Children's Center at Bakersfield Memorial Hospital. They'll be accepting donations and offering a free short stack of buttermilk pancakes. Plus, diners have a chance to win free pancakes for life. It's happening tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at all IHOP restaurants in Kern County. Also this week, see the talented performers in vibrant presentations from locals as the community celebrates Black History Month. You can catch the Black History Parade Saturday at 10 a.m. It starts at 21st Street and V Street.
A couple missing since Valentine's Day was found safe in the Bay Area over the weekend.
How the couple went for a hike and ended up getting lost.
Welcome back. Strong winds knock over a tree in Washington State, trapping a man who was sleeping on his couch. It happened Sunday morning at an apartment complex in Renton, just outside of Seattle. Fire crews say the man was pinned under the tree for more than half an hour before crews were able to free him. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The wet and windy weather has brought down trees and power lines across the Pacific Northwest. But, I mean, those stories are often so tragic.
Yeah.
It's amazing he survived.
And I know Renton very well. Back in my early days, I worked at the Walmart Photo Center in Renton, Washington.
Was that your first job?
No, but that when I moved off to school, that's where I worked at, the Renton Photo Center.
Ooh,
there.
I just learned something new about you.
I know. So I know the Renton area
Kevin's
very well.
had the most unique jobs you could ever imagine.
Hey,
Really?
I've done it all.
Oh, yeah.
McDonald's, Circuit City when it was in business.
Forgot about that.
Walmart Photo Center. So I've done
Racetrack announcer.
for the Thoroughbred Racetrack and I've done it all. Yes.
Deep sea fishing or something like that?
No, I worked up in Prudhoe Bay for an oil company for a while. Yeah.
Wow.
I've had lots of jobs.
He's done it all.
But I've been here for a while. All right, let's talk about your forecast. It was a great weekend. Vanessa was here over the weekend giving you your forecast. And even, she was out about, said it was just beautiful yesterday, and I couldn't agree more. And we're going to be looking at a very nice week ahead. 51 degrees on the temperature right now. We have a light wind out of the south at 3, starting out with a few high clouds around the area. Then that will push on out. Overnight, 50 degrees. We are a little above where we should be this time of year. Overnight, we should be at 44. Our day daytime high should be right around 65, and 82 is the record on this date, and that was set back in 2016. Here's a look at the numbers. 43 in Delano at this time, 52 out in Taft, and then for the mountains, 30s and 40s. Fraser Park sits at 39, 41 in Tehachapi, and 44 out of Lake Isabella. Not a lot happening. A few high clouds drifting in from the north, as you can see. Again, this will continue to shift south and east as we go throughout the morning. Temperatures today around the state very comfortable. 66 in Sacramento, 67 in Fresno, and then lower 70s for Los Angeles. And these temperatures are only going to warm up as we go throughout the next few days here. You can see the beaches, Morro Bay, 60 degrees today. There's a high surf advisory out that way. Water temperature right at 55. High pressure in control for the short term here, but then we are going to be tracking a couple of systems out to the west, and it looks like one will start to impact us by the end of the work week and into the weekend. And you can see some clouds start to drift on in, and then by Sunday, it looks like we have another shot of some rain. Where do we stand right now in February? Only 1/100 of an inch of the gauge, so we are down over an inch. And then for the water year, we're down 1.30. So we definitely need another storm to bring some rain. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen before the end of the month. So I think we are going to end February at just 1/100 of an inch of rain. Air quality will be moderate with an AQI at 64. And today we'll call for plenty of sunshine this afternoon. A high of 67 in Bakersfield, pretty close to the high we saw yesterday. 68 in Delano, 65 in Taft. And then for the mountains in the Kern River Valley, 58 in Fraser Park, 59 in Tehachapi, 60s for the Kern River Valley, Lake Isabella today at 66. And then for the desert, sunny skies, winds gusting around 40 and a high of 69. In Mojave, your extended forecast looks like this. And tomorrow, look at that, 75, 77 on Wednesday. 80 on Thursday, and why don't we bump it up 2 degrees on Friday with some clouds around the area to 82, and then a chance of showers late Saturday and into our Sunday, and you can see a pretty big drop in temperatures by Sunday. We're back in the mid-60s. For the mountains, plenty of sunshine through Wednesday, a little bit warmer each day, mid-60s Thursday, Friday, a chance of showers late Saturday into Sunday, and by Sunday a high of only 51. And the Kern River Valley forecast keeping you warm. 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, lingering into your Saturday, and then Sunday we drop it 10 degrees to 60 and a 30% chance of some showers.
82 degrees. What is happening?
Talk about a swing.
It's February.
We get warm, we cool off, we warm up again. So kind of that's a typical spring weather right there.
But another shot at rain. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is good.
Yes, and you can tell that it's spring-like. I don't know if you saw my Facebook page, but I have a hummingbird that has built a nest right outside my patio on an extension cord, and I've positioned my security camera in the back to watch her movements.
Oh, fun.
You know, you see a hummingbird fly around, you never see them sit still. It's just a magnificent thing to see them in their nest.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Kat.
The numbers are in for a DUI checkpoint conducted in Northeast Bakersfield over the weekend. It was held Saturday night. Bakersfield Police Department reports that a total of 241 cars were screened. 4 drivers were detained to determine their sobriety levels. 1 driver was cited for driving without a license. 3 others were driving with a suspended license, but not one was arrested for DUI. As always, if you suspect a drunk driver, call 911.
A man known for trying to launch himself into space died over the weekend.
What went wrong and why he was trying to get to space in the first place.
Welcome back. Here, a California man known for launching himself into the air in a homemade rocket has died.
He fell to his death after failed launch Saturday. About 50 people gathered in the San Bernardino County desert to watch Mad Mike Hughes make the launch. The rocket apparently hit a steel ladder on the launch ramp and tore off his parachute, which got caught in the rocket's thruster. Hughes had 3 other parachutes in the rocket that he didn't deploy. His team believes he was knocked unconscious during takeoff, and the sheriff's office is investigating. Hughes was a flat earth conspiracy theorist who attempted several launches in order to see for himself whether the earth was flat.
A Bay Area couple who vanished in the woods over Valentine's Day this weekend has been found alive. Carol Kaparsky and Ian Irwin were last seen February 14th at a vacation cottage near Inverness. The couple from Palo Alto went on a hike and got lost in the dark. After nearly a week of searching, volunteers heard the couple yelling for help in a densely forested area. The couple was dressed lightly and had no food or water, but survived by drinking out of a puddle. Officials believe the couple's chances survival were so slim that the search was actually being treated as a recovery mission.
In speaking with the family members, I think we've all come to the conclusion that Carol and Ian's survival is a miracle. We are ecstatic for the family.
The massive search included up to 500 people, helicopters, and canine units. Irwin and Kaparsky both suffered from hypothermia, but are expected to be okay.
We often teach teen drivers about road safety, but it's also important to make sure older drivers are staying safe too. Age Well, Drive Smart is a program that does just that. The goal is to help people who have been behind the wheel for a while freshen up their skills. It'll also help people figure out when it might be time to retire from driving, as well as exploring other ways to get around. The class is happening tomorrow at the CHP office on Kapani Street. It starts at 9 a.m. The class is free, but it's limited to drivers over the age of 65.
Well, from Italy to Iran, the country's seen a surge in cases of the coronavirus overnight.
We'll give you the updated numbers when we come back.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Well, your driver's license may soon not be enough to get you through the security checkpoints at U.S. airports. The U.S. Department of Homeland says 2/3 of U.S. driver's licenses are not compliant with a post-9/11 security law. The Real ID compliant identification law goes into effect October 1st. To get the Real ID, applicants must provide documentation showing their full legal name, their date of birth, their social security number, 2 proofs of address to their local driver's license agency. Acting DHS Secretary says the department's top priority is getting every state compliant by the deadline. If you don't have the Real ID by October, TSA officials will not clear you to fly. Well, it used to be whenever you needed a photographer for a big event, you had to shop around, make calls, and book someone. Now there's an app to make it easier. NBC's Chris Clackham explains how it works.
Vacation experts are among the first to get the pictures, so to speak, about an idea that's really catching on.
It's made it really easy to find these freelance photographers that you can hire for an hour or two and capture some of these great candid memories of your family on vacation.
I think people are just finding a way to create really great souvenirs.
Indeed, a cottage industry has popped up around the world, putting pro photographers at your service in a flash.
There's something called Flytographer, there's Localgrapher. You can even go on Instagram and search for a hashtag vacation photographer and sort of look into the city or place that you're visiting.
Another is called Snapper, founded in 2016 by Matt Schiller.
People can choose anything from a 30-minute shoot all the way up to booking a photographer for an entire day.
And for roughly $90 an hour, got quite a lot.
For a 1-hour event, we typically try to give the customer back around about 60 photos.
Schiller says to also think beyond vacation shoots when hiring an on-demand photographer, like a marriage proposal.
So you get some really lovely candid photos of the couple at that very special moment in their lives.
Special moments photographically preserved forever. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
Still ahead in our next half hour on Sunrise, Bernie Sanders has another victory under his belt in Nevada.
How the rest of the candidates are preparing for South Carolina, Tracy Potts has more on the story.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Back to work Monday morning. Good to have you with us.
Yep, and let's take a look at your weather forecast right away because we're seeing beautiful conditions into this week. Good morning, Kev.
Good morning, Vanessa. Good morning, Maddie. Good morning to you at home on this Monday morning. It was a great Sunday, upper 60s. Today we're looking at a great day. A few high clouds pushing through the area right now, but that'll give way to lots of sunshine throughout the afternoon in the upper 60s. We're at 50 right now under a calm wind for Bakersfield, and we should be in the lower 50s by 7 a.m., rising to 63 at noon and 67 degrees by 3 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then for Tehachapi, you're at 41. A little bit of cloud cover to start off your morning, but sunny skies expected throughout the afternoon. Starting out near 40 and then upper 50s this afternoon by 3 o'clock. That northwest wind at 13. We're going to talk much more about your forecast in just a little bit.
Supporters of Julian Assange protested outside a London court and his extradition hearing began. The protesters chanted free Julian Assange and no extradition outside Woolwich Crown Court, where Assange's extradition hearing started. The chanting was so loud that the judge asked Assange's counsel to tell his supporters they are harming his case. The WikiLeaks founder is set to argue that the spying charges against him are politically motivated. A final decision could take years.
Well, from Nevada to South Carolina, the Democrats headed to the state to debate there tomorrow night before voters head to the polls on Saturday. After placing second in Nevada behind Bernie Sanders and slipping in national polls, former Vice President Joe Biden tells MSNBC that he's counting on South Carolina to pull ahead.
They know me. They know me really well. They know, they know I've had Barack's back. They know that Bernie wanted a primary Barack in 2012, didn't like what we were doing, tried to take down Obamacare.
Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders trying to flip the script in Texas, a Republican stronghold. Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, and Amy Klobuchar are fighting for big wins in the South. Billionaire Tom Steyer's also on the ballot in South Carolina. He's polling in third place. But once again, billionaire Michael Bloomberg is not on that ballot.
President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania arrived in India this morning, but they're now heading to New Delhi. This is their first official trip to the country. They began their 2-day trip by visiting the former home of Indiana independence leader Mohandas Gandhi. The couple toured the home with Indian Prime Minister Modi shortly after arriving in India. The president and first lady attended an event dubbed Namaste Trump at a local stadium. This is a spin on the Howdy Modi extravaganza President Trump hosted for Indiana Prime Minister Modi in Houston last September. They finished the day touring the Taj Mahal before leaving for official meetings tomorrow in New Delhi.
Twitter suspending dozens of pro-Bloomberg accounts. A Twitter spokesperson said it suspended 70 accounts for violating its rules on manipulation and spam. This after the accounts repeatedly posted identical messages in support of Michael Bloomberg. A Bloomberg campaign spokeswoman says staff behind the accounts had not been deceitful. And just in overnight, vandals hit Michael Bloomberg's Chicago area campaign office. Police were called just around 1 a.m. after derogatory words were spray painted on front of the office building. The words racist, sexist, GOP, and oligarch were sprawled across the windows of the campaign office. So far, police have no suspects in the case. Jury deliberations in the Harvey Weinstein sexual assault trial resumed today. On Friday, the jury said they were deadlocked on the two most serious charges, predatory sexual assault. The judge told them to keep working. Weinstein's also charged with first-degree rape, third-degree rape, and 1 count of criminal sex. The jury may be hung up on one of the accusers, considering they asked to review the cross-examination of Annabella Sciorra. Sciorra is the only woman tied to the charges on which the jury says it cannot reach a unanimous decision. A man pulled an unconscious driver from her car after she drove into a canal. Curtis Jennings has a story.
This white SUV taking on water quickly. That's when Sean Turner and his son drove by, saw what was happening, and got involved.
When I got out of the truck, I asked if anybody had seen somebody in the car. They said there was somebody in the car. I know cars don't float long, so I jumped in as quick as possible.
She's having a seizure still.
Turner quickly got to work with the help of a few others.
And then I crawled in there, undid her seatbelt, and I pushed her out the window.
But Sean didn't stop there. With some teamwork, he managed to pull the unconscious woman to the bank of the canal, while others called 911.
Hurry up, guys! Hurry up, guys!
I'm glad Adam Gunn was there to help me out, because I couldn't have got her to the side without him. It was a team effort, and we got her to the side and waited for paramedics to come. Once we knew she was breathing, it took a little bit more time.
And those who witnessed the rescue have a new name for Turner, Hero.
I wish that she has a speedy recovery and gets well as soon as possible. She has a family, a husband, people that want to see her better.
That was Curtis Jennings reporting. The woman who crashed into the canal was rushed to the hospital. Her condition is unknown this morning.
Police are trying to figure out what led up to a deadly bus crash in Southern California. It happened Saturday. The charter bus flipped over and landed down a ditch just off Interstate 15 in San Diego County. 3 people were killed and another 18 were hurt. Federal investigators are looking into 3 possible causes: weather, mechanical failure, or driver error. Authorities say the bus did have seatbelts, but it appears the majority of passengers weren't wearing them. The bus was traveling from Los Angeles County to Tijuana, Mexico.
An update on the coronavirus this morning. South Korea, Italy, and Iran are all seeing huge spikes in new cases of the virus today. South Korea reported 231 new cases. That pushes the nationwide total past 830. More than half of those cases are connected to certain religious groups. In just the last few hours, Hong Kong has confirmed 5 new cases of the virus. That brings the total number of cases in the city to 79. In Iran, health officials and lawmakers are battling it over the number of new cases and deaths in the country. Lawmakers are saying 50 people are dead, while health officials maintain that only 12 have died. Globally, 2,619 people have died because of the virus, with 27 of those deaths reported outside mainland China. Over the weekend, new cases of the coronavirus surged in Europe. In Italy, the number of confirmed cases went from 3 to 152 by late Sunday night. This morning, there are now more than 200 confirmed cases. Most of these cases were in northern cities. Now, the country also says 5 people with the virus died over the weekend. This all part of Europe's first major outbreak of the coronavirus. Officials put about a dozen towns on lockdown, leaving many roads in northern Italy nearly deserted.
And now to the economic impact the coronavirus is having on markets across the world. Asian and European markets are plunging today on fears that the expanding coronavirus outbreak will affect the global economy. The South Korean stock market fell almost 4% after concerns about the rapid spread of the new coronavirus cases in the country. European markets were also broadly down 3 or 4% after fears the virus is spreading quickly in Italy. U.S. market futures point to a massive drop at the open here at home.
All right, we'll be right back with more news after this.
All right, welcome back. And we just mentioned it a few minutes ago that fears of the coronavirus are pushing markets down across the world. The U.S. markets opened about 13 minutes ago, and take a look. Futures were down, and now the Dow is down 830 points so far in trading. The NASDAQ down 303, S&P 500 down 89. So we'll be watching this throughout the day.
Stock market is down, and the weather is on its way up. In terms of those numbers, we are expecting a little bit of a warm-up throughout the week, so that'll be kind of nice, and then another shot of maybe some rain heading into the beginning of March. But unfortunately, we just didn't pick up much rain over the weekend, and we knew that system was going to maybe have a mind of its own, and guess what? It brought more rain in Southern California, but for Kern County, only 100th of an inch. But today, we're starting out with a little bit of cloud cover. We're mostly sunny and 44 degrees out in Wasco. Frazier Park, some sunshine and 39, and then Golden Hills starting out with a little bit of cloud cover, and we've got 40 degrees. Here's a look at other temperatures. Valley temps into the 40s to lower 50s right now, with 30s and 40s into the mountains and out in the desert. Mojave at 45. And it is picking up some of these high clouds that are in the area, and we're also seeing it to the north of us right now. Once this kind of pushes south and east, we'll see more sunshine as we go throughout the day. Temperatures right on track with where we were yesterday, but then we get a pretty good warm-up by the end of the work week. 66 in Sacramento today, 67 in Fresno, lower 70s down in L.A. Down to the south, we're looking at mid-60s in San Diego. And if you're going to go try your luck in Vegas, well, a nice day to walk the strip, 64 degrees. Here's a look at the beaches. Morro Bay, we've got a high surf advisory along the coast, so if you're heading that way, keep that in mind. 60 degrees today, water temperature hovering right around 55. High pressure in control. It's going to build on in here the next few days, and that's why we will see a warm-up, but it will eventually move east, and that will open the door for another system to develop out to the west, and it looks like Sunday could be our time frame seeing some light rain. We're also going to watch our snow levels, and you can see here by the end of this model, it does bring in maybe a rain and snow mixture above 5,000 feet. But again, rain amounts do not look impressive, more so cloud cover than heavy rain. Now, the system that we didn't see over the weekend, but down in Southern California we did see it. It now has moved east. Now we're seeing rain into parts of Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, and eventually today moving into the Carolinas in terms of temperatures. We're looking at 50 out of Portland today, cooler in Boise and also Salt Lake in the upper 30s, Chicago in the lower 40s today, and then 50s and 60s for Boston, New York, and D.C. Here at home, we're looking at sunny skies by the afternoon, 67 in Bakersfield, 68 in Delano, 65 in Taft. These temperatures right on track with what you were seeing on Sunday. And then overnight we'll be in the 40s. And then for the mountains, sunny skies this afternoon. A northwest wind, 10 to 15, 55 in Pine Mountain Club. Stallion Springs, you're at 53 today with 60s into the Kern River Valley. In fact, Weldon, you'll be near 70. And then for the desert, a little bit breezy, winds gusting to around 40 and a high of 69 in Mojave. Now, I talked about a warm-up. Tomorrow, 75 degrees, so almost a 10-degree jump. 77 on Wednesday, 80 on Thursday with 82 and increasing clouds on Friday. And then a chance of showers late Saturday, more so into Sunday. But again, only a 30% chance, and we'll be back into the mid-60s. For the mountains, sunny skies through Wednesday. We're going to warm you back into the 60s. In fact, mid-60s Thursday and Friday. And then a chance of some showers by late Saturday, Sunday. And by Sunday, those lower 50s will return. And the Kern River Valley forecast, sunny through Wednesday, lower 70s back on the board starting tomorrow. Mid-70s for you on Friday with some clouds, and then back into the lower 60s and a chance of rain on Sunday.
Well, yeah, like we said earlier, let's hope for that chance of rain to come true because we need it.
Yeah, February has been a disappointment in terms of the rain, especially this February. Again, we are the driest February we've seen in 5 years.
Wow.
I don't think we're going to get any more rain for the month, but we'll start out maybe March with a little bit of rain in the gauge.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Kevin.
If you plan on heading down Truxtun Avenue tonight, we have a traffic alert for you. Starting at 9 o'clock this evening, eastbound Truxtun will be closed between Commercial Way and Empire Drive. This closure also impacts the West Side Parkway off-ramp. Drivers on the parkway will be redirected to Mohawk Street. Truxtun's expected to open again in time for your morning commute tomorrow and Wednesday, but that same stretch of road will shut down again Tuesday night. Westbound traffic will not be impacted.
Well, coming up, local religious leaders will be holding a series of debates about Christianity and Islam.
Still ahead, more about why they're holding these sessions and how you can attend.
Sunrise Interviews is brought to you by Valley Strong Credit Union.
Welcome back. 17 on set. Joining us this morning, Chad Vegas with Sovereign Grace Church and Imad Mirza, former Emir of the Muslims of Kern County, here to tell us about an upcoming series that begins tonight discussing Christianity versus Islam. It's open to the public. It's something that's also going to be streamed online, and there will be 3 of these sessions. Good morning to both of you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. This is such an intriguing concept, and really a little briefly here, can you tell us how this came about and you decided to do this?
Yeah. Ahmad and I were in some public forums together, and after being in those public forums and having met him, I wanted to try to follow up. And so I contacted him and said, hey, Ahmad, I'd like to meet. I'd like to build a friendship. My desire is to see you convert to Christianity. And so he was game to meet. We started talking. And I also told him that I had a concern that among Christians, particularly, there tended to be 2 major tracks I saw in how we dealt with Islam. One of those was there was a tendency to make it all about the politics of jihad and the fact that Christians were seeing all of Islam through a particular fundamentalist track that we've all run into politically in America. The other, so all Islam is our enemy and we have to sort of take up arms. The other issue was, or the other side was, there are no differences between Christianity and Islam, and we all believe the same thing, and that wasn't true either. And so I was concerned with both sides of those debates and wanted to say there's a better way here. We're 2 religions with 2 different ideologies, and we need to make those clear.
Imad, what did you think when Chad reached out, and what do you think about going forward with these forums?
Yeah, I was quite surprised. I was overseas at the time, and I was very. It was just enlightening to me that he wanted to reach out. He was concerned not just about my faith, which I know because I've tried to convert him as well, and he knows I want to make him Muslim. And so he was very honest about that aspect of it, and also told me that he had concerns with the community. And I just thought, wow, that he's really concerned about the Muslim community. I actually wrote back and said, my concern is that if the Christian community doesn't change this tone, I'm really concerned about their hearts and their faith, because this is not the Christianity that I'm aware of from the first century. And we both came to understand that this is true. We don't need either extreme that he mentioned, right? They're both wrong. What we want to do is elevate the discussion, and we want to talk about the principal matters of our faiths, which are the theology, the law, the morality, etc., and especially the major issues. And so we really decided that we wanted to do this, God willing, and this was over 2 years ago. So we took 2 years together to thoroughly examine the matter before we decided to go forward with this series.
Okay, and we are running out of time, unfortunately, this morning, but there are going to be 3 of these. The first
There'll
is
be
happening
6 total,
tonight.
God willing.
6 total.
Yeah.
And the first is happening tonight, and it's open to the public, correct?
It's open to the public.
Laurel Glen Bible Church.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's also going to be streamed online. People can watch there.
That's correct.
Where can they find that?
Laurel Glen Bible Church has, I think, a
Okay.
channel on Vimeo that they are streaming it on.
And just really quickly, last, what's your pitch? Why should people come, and who should come?
They should come, because this is 2 heavyweights in Kern County talking about very serious issues. I'm serious when I say that. They're going to understand Islam for what it really is. They're going to understand Christianity for what it really is. And they're going to see 2 people that highly respect one another, honor one another in the process, and put a lot of effort into what we're doing, talking about the most important aspects of our faith. And we're going to challenge one another. And I think anyone that wants to see, these 2 faiths going up against one another with honor and respect, come to this lecture.
All right, we're going to post all of this information on our website, kget.com. We'll be covering this event this evening as well.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you.
Of course.
We'll be back after this. Welcome back here at 6:57. We're checking live stocks once again today as they plunge over coronavirus concerns around the world. U.S. markets are not the only ones dropping. Others are as well, again, around the world. But right now, the Dow is 783 points down, the NASDAQ down 285, and the S&P 500 down 85.
And a few clouds outside to start off your morning, but that should give way to plenty of sunshine this afternoon and a high of 67. We will warm things up day by day here, and by the end of the work week, even though we'll see increasing clouds, we're going to be looking at the 80s, and then there is a chance of some rain moving in late Saturday and into Sunday. So a little bit of a change by the end of the weekend once again.
Hopefully another chance to squeeze
Cross
a
our
little more
fingers
rain
here.
yet.
Yeah, the 100th of an inch we picked up this week.
Maybe we'll get 200.
Yeah.
That's all for us. Yep, this morning on Sunrise.
Have a great day.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on kget.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.